everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Tineco Floor One S6 Smart Wet Dry Vacuum. Tineco did send me the sample, but I want you to know that any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Take a look at the retail box and packaging. Everything looks great. They walk you through some key tech specs and features. You'll learn about what's included in the box, additional smart features on the back. Now let's go ahead, let's open this up and see what's inside. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our instruction manual, followed by our deodorizing and cleaning solution, power supply and adapter right here. We have the handle of our wet dry vac with our control buttons right there front and centered, and a helpful piece of product literature going over some of the key settings and features there for you to read. Tineco's logo and branding on that. Next, we have our base station with an extra brush roller, cleaning tool. We have our removable storage caddies there. We have an extra washable filter here with another removable caddy. That'll be in the box for you. And this is where it's going to charge and rest and self-clean on this unit. Backside right here, you'll plug in the included power cable and cord. And lastly, we have the main piece of the unit itself. Let's look at this in more detail. Looking at the unit, you'll see its side profile right here is a nice white and gray color scheme. Looking at it from the front, we have Tineco's logo and branding, our dirty water tank, which we can remove just by pressing that button there. We have our removable filter to easily clean and wash as needed. And then this will just pull right off again for emptying and cleaning out. You'll also notice right there, max level indicator when it's full. Let's look at the unit with the dirty water tank removed. You'll see how that looks. And then looking at the bottom, we have our brush roller here with our built-in squeegee, consisting of that nice clean water every time when that's scraping everything off for us. Top-down view, Tineco's logo and branding there, removable cover on the front so we can easily clean and replace as needed. You'll see our little water jet there, and then this will just snap right back on in place. Here's a look from the other side, same color scheme. We'll look at the very bottom, get a feel for the wheels and rollers there, and the brush again. Here's our charging contacts. Now we'll look at the very back. This is our clean water tank. Nice clean water tank here. Fill with warm tap water, 140 degrees Fahrenheit max. Add 1 cap of solution in. That's where you're going to fill it up right under your sink. I like this design, so it doesn't have to go this way. Like if your sink's too tall, you can get this under just about any sink and faucet out there today. So great to see that. Easy handle to use. Here's our device information on the back. We have our mute Wi-Fi and language switch button there. This is going to be what we can depress if we need to ever remove the handle. Once you snap it in place, it'll click. If you ever need to disassemble it, you just got to poke in there and you can pull it out. We also have customer service and contact info there. And then look at the very top, you'll see we have this label to remove, but that walks us through everything that will light up here on our built-in display. And then they have the ring letting you know that it changes color from red to blue as debris is cleaned. So all that right there, suction settings, Wi-Fi indicator, all of your lights, battery capacity, all that good stuff easily illuminates once you power it on. To set up your wet dry vac, you're going to need to install the handle. It's only going to fit one way, so make sure you have everything lined up properly. So here we go, we have it in. Now we just got to press it down in place and you'll see it'll snap right in. Now we can't pull it out. We have now successfully set up our wet dry vac. It's time to charge it up and try it out. our first clean. I ran the unit until the first tank of water ran out. That took us down to 58% battery life. I did not do the self-cleaning yet because I wanted to show you some before and after results. So here's a look at the brush roller and the unit before we did our self-cleaning. First thing I want to point out in this channel down here, we do have some debris that's built up here. I see some hair and some contents way down in there. As for the main brush roller itself, doesn't look too bad here. If I tip it upside down, you'll see we do have some hair caught on the bottom there. I expect that to come out when it starts to clean itself. But other than that, it looks really good. We can open up this cover too. So take a look at that. Again, we have not done any self-clean yet. Not bad. All of our pet hair from my dog. You get the idea there. So that's going to be the unit itself. Now let's go ahead and look at our dirty water tank. So our tank isn't full yet, but we're close to that max line. Here's our filter after one pass. Definitely wash that out. Some debris inside there as expected. Let's just gently open it up. Pet hair, crumbs, food, all that good stuff there. Again, you're going to want to rinse this out. And then you'll see our larger items up at the top there. Again, pet hair, crumbs, Cheerios, my kids' snacks, some goldfish, some grass clippings, some floaters down there in the water. And the water's pretty discolored. So let's go ahead, let's dump that out. Disgusting. Look at that. Dirty water just straight from my floor. Pretty disgusting there. Now it's time to go ahead. We're going to do the self-clean, and then we'll look at the contents of our dirty water tank again.
Start self-cleaning. Cleaning brush roller.
So after conducting our self-clean, here are the results. Our debris channel's way cleaner there. We still have some of the same residue on the outside here, but that's not something the self-clean would be able to get. That's just debris collected over time with the dirty water tank. Next, you'll see that big piece of hair is actually still here, but it is free from the roller now. So I'd expect in another clean or two that would get sucked up and out in there, but it was still here. But that roller looks as good as new. Look at that. Really nice. Happy with that quality there. Now, looking at the cover, this was more interesting to me. We still have a lot of our hair here. I was hoping maybe since it does, spray and clean itself, that those would all be removed and sucked up. But this also acts as a squeegee too. So I think a lot of those hairs and things are just naturally going to collect there over time due to the design. So feel free to pop that off every once in a while and wipe that down as you see fit. And then lastly, this is what's disgusting to me. Look at how dirty that water is. That's just from cleaning the brush roller. So we cleaned all of this out. Filter looks good, looks a lot better. But look at this. Oh, so it did get even more hair. I cleaned all that out before I put it back on. Disgusting. So that's just what it was able to collect from the roller, which is why you're still seeing that residue here. That all makes sense. But look at that discolored and dirty water again. So it's really nice that we have that self-cleaning mode. So you're making sure when you go to do your next clean, you're not just spreading dirty water and a dirty mop pad all over your house. You want a nice clean roller brush. So it's amazing that in that process, we're able to get all of this out of that brush. Now we're gonna have some fun and see what this unit's really capable of. The S6 is a very capable wet dry vac, but how does it stack up against the competition? We're going to be comparing the S6 and its specs to Tineco's whole lineup, as well as all the units we've ever reviewed. We're about 15 or so wet dry vacs that we have personally tested. So let's see what the numbers tell us. First up, in regards to battery life, this is measured in minutes. The S6 has a 35-minute battery life. That is true to the brand average for Tineco of 35 minutes, and all tested 35 minutes as well. That's pretty standard today on the market, regardless of the wet dry vac you're looking at. A lot of that has to do with the battery capacity. Typically, Tinecos have larger battery capacities. The S6 has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Not only is that due to internal things like motor power, all that good stuff, I think they also have a larger capacity due to having that Wi-Fi chip to be able to connect to your smartphone. So the brand average for Tineco is about 3,600, and our average overall is 3,650. The Tineco skews a little bit lower than the average because we've reviewed a couple 2-in-1 units. That's a cordless vac and a wet dry vac, so they had to make some compromises there. Next, we have our clean water tank capacity. This is measured in milliliters. The S6 has an 800 milliliter water tank capacity. The brand average for Tineco is 740, so we get an extra 60 milliliters there. All tested, again, average showing right around 800 at 790. Our Tineco is below average here, again, due to the 2-in-1 device that has a smaller clean water tank, and as you'll find out, it also has a smaller dirty water tank. And dirty water tank capacity also measured in milliliters. You'll see the S6 comes in at 720 milliliters. Brand average skewed below the S6 due to that 2-in-1 device, again, as we mentioned, 650 milliliters. But you'll see here, compared to all the units tested, Tineco typically has some of the larger dirty water tanks available on the market. Now let's talk about cost. So with Tineco, they have a variety of different makes and models depending on your budget and price point. The S6 is going to come in at the higher end of that category due to the fact that it's one of their premium models. It slots right in between, you guessed it, the S5 and the S7. So you'll see that it's slightly above Tineco's brand average and about a couple $100 above the overall wet dry average. But the data that we just looked at doesn't put into value some of the additional features that you get with Tineco units, like smartphone capabilities, as well as the dual edge cleaning system. Here we have a couple other features that is specific to this vacuum that you have to figure out for yourself. Is it worth paying a premium for X, Y, or Z? So where's that leave us in regards to the Tineco S6? I think it's helpful to understand where it sits in more detail within Tineco's own product lineup. So to the right, in regards to most affordable, we have the S3, followed by the S5, then the S7 is their flagship cleaner. True to its name, the S6 sits in between the S5 and the S7. You'll notice our runtime, which we mentioned earlier, 35 minutes compared to 40 for the S7, 35 for the S5, and 35 for the S3. Next, as mentioned earlier, clean water tank. You'll see they're all very close to each other. S7, being their flagship model, has the largest clean water tank. The S6 and the S5 have the same 0.8 liter capacity, and the S3, being their budget-friendly option, has a smaller clean water tank at 0.6. That's still a big thing, in my opinion, when you're looking for a wet dry vac. The least amount of trips you have to make refilling your tank while you're cleaning, the better. So that is one of the things that, if you can make it work in your budget, the larger the capacity, the better. Next, dirty water tank holds true just like clean water tank. You don't want to have your cleaning interrupted because you have to go empty the dirty water tank. You'll see the S5, the S6, and the S7 all have the same capacity dirty water tank, and the S3 has a slightly smaller one at 0.5 liters. Next, this is some of the stuff I was talking about that isn't tangible per se in regards to comparing data and specs, but you'll see there are premium features that obviously will then increase the price point of the vacuum. So the S5, the S6, and the S7 all have edge cleaning support. This is great. You'll notice though, on the S6 and the S7, we actually have dual edge cleaning support. So that gives you that deeper and more thorough clean right along your baseboards and going up close to any sidewalls and things like that. That's not found on the S3, but again, you get what you pay for and what you can afford. And lastly, we have one of their key and new features, the MHCBS technology. Just take a mental note here. This is only available on the S6 and the S7. So what is it and do I need it? Well, hopefully this chart can help you understand that better. So basically it's a way to make your roller brush and your whole vacuum cleaner. So basically it's going to continuously wash it with fresh water, ensuring a thorough and constant clean not going to allow you to smear as much stuff around your floors or spread any of that unwanted dirt and debris elsewhere. So basically they have 4 stages with how this works, but it rinses it continually with clean water, washes it with its 450 RPM brush roller, has a scraper, you'll see it in red there, that's going to scrape all of the waste and dirt and debris off of the roller, and then you'll see in that channel it's able to suck and take all that dirty water away. So pretty cool, nice, innovative feature. But again, that's only something you need to look at your budget, your needs, and your cleaning preferences and see if that's right for you. So overall, very enjoyable experience using the S6. Let me share with you my final thoughts. All of my observations and critiques are going to be the same regardless of their lineup or just wet dry vacs in general. I want increased runtime in larger water tanks. Other than that, there's some nice features I'd love to see trickle down from the S7 Pro to the S6 or future versions and models. I like the self-propel option. That's a nice feature to have, as well as the LED lights. I really feel like LED lights should be standard on wet dry vacs today. The S6 does a lot of good though with that dual edge cleaning. Great to get up close to your baseboards and walls. Just a clever little thing that they're mindful of in their design. So it speaks to how much they care about their wet dry vacs and products. For most people though out there, I'd say you'd be fine with the S3 or the S5, and you can put a couple $100 back in your pocket. If you do want the edge cleaning though, right, you want the larger water tanks, you want that advanced MHCBS cleaning system, then obviously this would be the wet dry vac for you. But again, only you can answer that.